me get my calendar.
16th is Monday.
Yeah, 'cause today's the 9th.
And you're leaving
Tuesday.
16th is joint
Yeah,
public.
so we're 9th today, 16th is next Monday.
I just don't, you're not going to be able to just,
Right.
somebody said, I'm taking George.
You'll be here. You won't? You can hear?
So that's the only difference.
see. I was looking all over. That high. Full house. Vacant seats. Yeah. They were like seats. Let's maybe to get them out there. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Board of Commissioners meeting for September the 9th. We have some vacant seats spread throughout. If you don't wish to stand, you could find a seat. We'll give a second. There's a couple more front to us, brother.
Which one?
Next, we will have our Pledge of the Allegiance led by Commissioner Miles.
Get everybody, please join in with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we approve the agenda, there are a couple of items that need to be amended. The minutes from May 6, 2024 meeting needs to be pulled for new business under item B. And under Public Works Resolution 2025-20, Barrington infrastructure acceptance pulled also. And would that go under
That would be item B.
B?
Yeah, item B under new business, please.
All right. Item B under new business.
For the infrastructure acceptance?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
No, that's what was pulled.
Is a motion?
Make a motion to pass the agenda as amended.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. Recognition of schools. Miss Miranda Martinez Hernandez, is she here? Good. Esmeralda. Thank you. Esmeralda Hernandez is our student from East Wake High School. She's a senior at East Wake IT and Design Magnet School. As a first-generation student, she's driven by her ambition to pursue higher education with the ultimate goal of becoming a physician's assistant. Her passion for advocating for the health and well-being of others is at the heart of her aspirations. Throughout her high school journey, her activities of various clubs include student council, the trio Upward Bound, and she is known for her determination and willingness to seize every opportunity that comes her way. She's always pushing herself to achieve more. Her parents gave her the biggest supporters, instilling in her the courage and the resilience to persevere through challenges. Hard work and dedication, unwavering ambition make her a shining example of what it means to strive for success. And she is proud to be the recipient of the East Wake High School as she continues to pursue her dreams. The town of Zebulon recognizes Esmeralda Martinez Hernandez, East Wake High School, for representing the hard work and dedication for our unwavering ambition towards success. This day, September 9th, 2024, signed by Mayor Glenn L. York. Next, Christopher Howell. Christopher Howell is a loving husband to Valerie Howell and a proud father of 3 children. Christopher Howell Jr., Benjamin Howell, and Christina Howell. He is a man of many talents and passions. With 24 years of dedicated service as a school librarian at East Wake High School, Mr. Howell has played a key role in promoting reading, literacy, technology integration. His commitment to the school community is unparalleled, and his contributions have been instrumental in the successful implementation of the Magnet program at East Wake. Known for his tireless work ethic, Mr. Howell has spent countless hours ensuring that the school's curriculum, introduction, and information literacy efforts are well supported. His leadership and his integration of technology and advocacy for inclusive education has greatly enhanced both students' effectiveness and students' performance. In addition to his work within the school, Mr. Howell is a pastor at his local church, where he actively supports literacy food drives for families in need. His dedication to the school and broader community exemplifies why he is the #1 with us, always going above and beyond to ensure East Wake's success. His constant hard work and commitment make him a deserving recipient of this special recognition. The town of Zebulon recognizes Christopher Howell as East Wake High School for demonstrating leadership, advocacy, hard work throughout 24 years of dedicated service as a school librarian. On this day, September 9th, 2024, signed by Mayor Glenn L. York. Proclamation recognizing National Recovery Month and empowered citizens. Miss Wendy Watson. Yes. Proclamation recognizing National Recovery Month and empowered citizens. Whereas substance abuse and mental health challenges can be very daunting to deal with. Whereas the youth that struggle with these issues can feel isolated and alone. Whereas individuals and groups that provide service for our youth to overcome these challenges are invaluable. Whereas the wisdom of Ms. Wendy Watson, founder and CEO of Empowered Citizens, saw the need to provide specific services to the young people ages 13 to 23 in Zebulon with evidence-based practice that support and guide them to recovery. Whereas in 2015, Empowered Citizens was established, creating a safe space for young people to seek help and support to transform their lives. Whereas in 1989, September was specified as National Recovery Month. Whereas recognizing those that provide endless support and hope to those recovering from substance use and mental health challenges is so important. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Commissioners and the town of Zebulon, do hereby recognize September as National Recovery Month and Wendy Watson with Empowered Citizens for the work they do and providing an invaluable service to young people in the Zebulon community. Adopted September 9th, 2024, signed Mayor Glenn L. York. Public comment. If you wish to speak during the public comment session of the meeting, you must sign up. The comment period can be no longer than 15 minutes, with speakers having 3 minutes to speak. No speaker can speak on a public hearing item or any item that would need to be disclosed under closed session. Speakers cannot speak more than once during the public comment portion of the meeting and cannot give their time to another speaker. If there are more than one person who wishes to speak on one topic with the same point of view, it is recommended that you pick one person to speak on that topic. And you all may come up and stand with that person if you would like. If there is not enough time for all the speakers to have the opportunity to speak, those not able to speak will be first to speak at the first meeting on the following month. First, we have, and give your name and address. First, we have Stephen Baxter. Steve.
Over here.
That's all right. We'll work it.
All right, Mayor York, Board of Commissioners, thank you for this time. My name is Steve Baxter. I live at 314 South Arundel Avenue here in Zebulon, North Carolina. I've been a resident for over 16 years and an IT field systems engineer servicing most of the major law firms in this country for over 30 years. I give you that background because I have an idea that I'd like to share with you. I think that we can provide free broadband service to the residents of Zebulon. We would need to apply for a grant. I've got some documentation that I will share with the clerk. But essentially, there's a couple of really good grants. So one's called the GREAT grant, which stands for Growing Rural Economies with Access to Technology. The program is funded over $260 million in the support and deployment of broadband services in communities. There's another, and I have documentation on that I'll be sharing. There's a CAB grant, Completing Access to Broadband. It's another North Carolina-focused grant program bringing high-speed internet to communities. And then the third point that I have, or the next point I have, is there is a Hometown Strong Rural Grant Program, and that program it assists in rural governments in writing grants and applying for federal funds. They offer free grant writing services and capacity building support, which means that basically it will help you build the service throughout the community. They do need to be applied for, and there are some links that unfortunately I can't give you the electronic link, but it's all typed out here so you can type it in. And that's what I had to share. I think it'll help our community. I think it'll help our community in that we have people that are having a hard time paying for food, let alone broadband service. And so I would really highly recommend that you maybe look into that. It took me not a long period of time to find that information. And if you need help with it, I'm available to help. So, thank you.
Thank you. Next. John Safford.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you all for the opportunity to speak this evening. Some good news from Zebulon Chamber. For those of y'all that don't know me, I'm the Executive Director of the Chamber here in town. So hot off the presses, I just contacted Wake Tech. We have 8 applicants for the new launch program. The deadline was 5 o'clock this afternoon. So just as a quick update, Launch Zebulon is a new program that is a partnership with the Town of Zebulon Economic Development Department and the Entrepreneur and Small Business Center for Wake Tech. And the purpose of the program is to provide support for new and budding businesses in Zebulon. And so we've been talking about this for 3 years and finally got it off the ground because of the partnership among the three of us. And so very proud to make that announcement. Excuse me, we're going to be working with Rollsville and put together a cohort between 10 to 20. And they will be meeting 10 weeks between September 19th and mid-November for this fall. So we're very thankful for that and the partnership with the town. Wanted to just bring to the attention of the commissioners, and Mayor York, I know, knows this, but we do have a growing partnership with Wake Tech as they have built the new campus in Wendell, Wake Tech East. They have a groundbreaking tomorrow, which is open to the public at 10 a.m. It is for the Wake Tech Fire and Rescue Training Center. So that is one of the biggest investments. The new Wake Tech East in Wendell is one of the biggest investments in East County and some of the most cutting-edge technology for community colleges in the whole country. So it is foundational and will have generational impact positively on this part of the county and this region of the state. So just want to say thank you to those who participated in helping bring them here. And they are a member of the chamber and have a growing partnership with them as they have that presence in East County. In that partnership, I've worked hard the past few weeks to engage with the new provost. His name is Chad Ray. Chad and I have met a couple of times, along with the Wake Tech president, Scott Rawls, to discuss opportunities for partnerships in this part of the county for workforce education development. We have Chad that will be a special guest this Thursday at the Business After Hours. It's the kickoff, the launch for the fall, so we hope that you will attend at the General Store and Gifts to Go downtown Zebulon from 5 to 6:30. So we have various dignitaries that have been invited, with Chad Ray being the primary guest, and just excited to introduce him to everyone in the community. And then we'll be taking him on a tour Friday for some of our local manufacturers. So some good things happening, and just invite y'all to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Beth Carpenter.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm Mary Beth Carpenter. I reside at 214 East Horton Street. I'm here to talk about a few things for Preservation Zebulon tonight. First, I want to thank each of you commissioners for meeting with me to discuss the downtown residential local community input on the properties at 200 East Horton Street and 201 East Vance Street that the town purchased last October. We hired a landscape architect to provide a concept plan for this historic house and the adjacent land, and we ask you again to please save the house on its original site as a museum, event space, or office space, or in some way, shape, or form, and to restore it using the federal guidelines of the interior, please. Preservation and we in the local community remain open to helping plan and to partnering with you. At the request of the mayor and several commissioners, we will also request meetings of the town staff to start discussing this project plan as it unfolds. Number two, Preservation Zebulon will be holding its Zebulation event on October 3rd, highlighting community legends Hutch Locklear and Gladys Todd at the Old Raleigh Distillery. We will also present our Preservation Merit Awards for leaders in history and preservation from within our community. We thank those of you who've gotten tickets. We'd love to have everyone attend and the rest of our community to uphold our town's proud heritage. Details are on our Preservation Zebulon website and also on our Facebook page. 3, We also offer our history walk of the downtown Zebulon area on September 21st at 10 a.m. with a rain date of Sunday at 1. We'd love to have the community join us. We do this in the spring and the fall, and it's our fall time. Lastly, Preservation Zebulon is partnering with Little River Historical Society for a presentation on how to research your historic home tomorrow night at Wakefield Central Baptist Church at 7 p.m. This is free and open to the public. All details, again, are on Facebook pages and the website, and we will have part of this talking about the tax credits and how they can be used. I wouldn't be doing my job as a good neighbor if I didn't point out two of my neighbors who are up tonight for board appointments, and that's Marvin Howell for Park and Rec. Marvin, for 30 years, has led Pullen Park, over 30 years, in the Raleigh Park system, and did a marvelous job there. And Taylor Gray is up for the Board of Adjustments, and both guys are very qualified and have been energetic neighbors and members of the Preservation Zebulon Board, and I do hope they'll give them your full consideration and consent to join these. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Diana Staten? Kiera Staten. Can't see.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kiera Staten. I am here on behalf of the Zebulon Aggies Football and Cheer. We are a nonprofit organization in the town of Zebulon. This program was started in January of this year. We have currently obtained our 501c3 July 17th of this year. We are seeking funding for our field for practice. We also seek We also are seeking the community support as well for our team. We currently just had our second football game, which was a success. We currently have our games at the Zebulon Middle School. Myself and 3 other members have funded this with our funds solely just because we love the town of Zebulon. We want the kids to have something to be able to look forward to doing, and this program has been a success so far. We would like to continue this as much as possible. We just urge the funding for our field fees to be waived if possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do we have any written public comments?
I think you missed one name before Ms. Stanton's.
Oh, Jane Mitchell? Sorry.
Commissioners, my name is Jane Mitchell. I live at 504 Perry Curtis Road. I have lived in Zebulon 75 years, my entire life. I want to speak on behalf of Marvin Howell, candidate for the Rec and Parks Board. Believe it or not, Marvin lives in Zebulon and I live in Zebulon. We had never met until I met him in Raleigh when I was working with Wachovia Bank and working with some projects with the city of Raleigh. I had an opportunity to meet Marvin when he worked with their Parks and Rec. The city of Raleigh officials thought extremely highly of Marvin. I watched Marvin help rejuvenate Pullen Park, and I can't begin to tell you how many children and adults have enjoyed Pullen Park. I observed his leadership, his rejuvenation of so many projects, and I saw what his employees thought of him. Marvin would be an asset to the town's Parks and Rec Board, but more importantly, he would be an asset to the children and youth of Zebulon, and that is Zebulon's future. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any written comments for public?
Yes,
Cons-
there is one. It says, "Good afternoon, Commissioner Harrison." This was sent directly to her and asked that this be shared at this meeting, but because she cannot be here, she asked me to read this. "Please find below our statement to be submitted for the public comment for the September Board of Commissioners meeting. At this time, we wish to clarify a potential misleading comment stated about Angel Prince Corporation during the Board of Commissioners public work session that took place on Thursday, August 15th, 2024. As the subject of fee waivers was being discussed, Commissioner Baxter stated the following: "We've had a fee waiver done for Angel Prince, and they were not even a 501c3 for 2 times that we did the waiver for them. From our inception in March 2022 until June 2024, we openly and legally operated under the fiscal sponsorship of Fiscal Sponsorship Allies, a federally recognized 501c3 nonprofit organization. For context and educational purposes, a fiscal sponsor is a nonprofit organization that provides fiduciary oversight, financial management, and other administrative services to build the capacity of charitable projects. Fiscal sponsorship allows startup nonprofits the ability to be able to legally hit the ground running, raising funds for their cause while maintaining good standing and fiscal accountability with the IRS under the fiscal umbrella of another 501c3 organization. Although we were not yet recognized by the IRS as a 501c3 organization during the 2 times we sought fee waivers from the town of Zebulon, we were indeed 501c3 compliant through that of fiscal sponsorship. Statements that lack both context and full disclosure can be both publicly misleading and also damaging to organizations such as Angel Prince that operates in good faith and with transparency. Please allow this public comment to serve as clarification for the record. We remain sincerely grateful for the great deal of support that the town of Zebulon and the Board of Commissioners has shown and continues to show Angel Prince Corporation. Thank you, Brandon and Tashina Wiggins, founders of Angel Prince Corporation."
Is there any other electronic or mailed in comments for public comment?
No, sir.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I need to amend page 4 of good catch, A3 in the work session minutes for May 30th.
Okay, we would need to pull those from consent if you want to talk about them.
So they need to be pulled from consent.
Just May 30th work session?
Yep.
We did pull public works.
We need a motion to do that, please.
Motion to pull the May 30th work session minutes.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as amended.
We already have a motion. We just need a vote to approve the motion to pull the minutes, please.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Is there some reason the screen is not populating?
Probably because no one has been up there moving it. You would need a motion now to approve the consent agenda.
Yeah, I thought we just did that.
We did it. No. In the minutes. I make a motion we approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. Next, finance.
All right,
Bobby?
good evening. Yes, as part of the FY25 budget process, we funded the strategic plan grant as a whole, but the decisions were never made on who to fund. So that's what we're here to do tonight. Just to review the process, there was an application period to open January 8th. It was open throughout the whole month of January to the 31st. At the March 4th regular meeting, organizations had the opportunity to come and speak. I think most of them came. And then the decision will be made tonight. You see before you in your packet was the applications of all 7 applicants. Listed below here: Preservation Zebulon, Brown Bag Ministry of Wendell, Positive Attitude for Life, East Wake Education Foundation, Zebulon Shrine Club, James E. Shepherd School Alumni Association, North Carolina Community Coalitions. With that being said, we're just ready for a discussion and decisions by the board on who gets what. As a reminder, the policy is maximum of 1,000 per group and 5,000 total.
I think the first one is Preservation of Zebulon. Would you like to come up and speak
Speaking again, since I spoke.
concerning
He spoke in March. Are they speaking again?
They already spoke at the March meeting.
Okay.
So before it's last, we're not allocating tonight, right?
So, discussion. I do, we do one at a time or all together, or just how you want to do this?
Are we looking to allocate tonight, or what is that? Are you looking for allocation amounts tonight?
Yeah.
Are we ready for that?
I think on their application, they have the amount that they are requesting. I think I saw that.
You'll have to give us just a moment of latitude because the original printouts from our packet were not done in a way that we could actually read the photocopies, so we might need a couple of moments just to review.
Do you have a good copy now?
The copies are much better now than one in the
Okay.
packet, yeah.
Bobby, when it comes to like Brown Bag Ministries, on their application, they do not have an amount listed at all.
Yeah. Correct.
Correct?
Yeah.
So that they are not asking for, or they've just not filled it out correctly?
They probably just didn't fill out correctly.
Okay.
Would that be the same for the Shrine Club? I see they have 0 on theirs as well.
Yeah, for what I recall when they spoke, they weren't really asking for money. They were asking for support, basically, as far as sharing their message, maybe sharing their social media posts about events, things like that, if I recall right.
So we have 5 applicants then that have petitioned the town for grant money?
Well, there's 7 total, and I guess you could say Shrine Club didn't really request money. Brown Bag.
Didn't request money because it's not in the
Well, I think
application?
they did, they just didn't put it on there. So I guess that could be up for debate on if you want to do some,
Well,
not max. Or,
Again, I feel uncomfortable allocating money, an amount of money that hasn't been requested.
Reach out to them though and see, have them kind of shoot you a number, kind of give a number.
I'm
of what
sorry,
they-
I can't hear you.
Is it possible to contact those guys and have them send a number, the amount of funding that they're requesting?
okay.
I mean, we can allocate and then set aside. Because I do know that they do work quite effectively in the community, and they have for many years. So I do think that this is an oversight. I think it's an oversight on their part.
North Carolina Community of Coalitions, that's the same organization that's to provides domestic violence assistance? Or is this a different one?
You're not talking about Interact, right?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's different, yes.
Yeah.
Maximum we can give them.
1,000.
For each organization.
With the 5,000 cap?
We have our strategic plan grants, which fall under a different umbrella.
Sorry, but we did 25,000 for,
School year?
well, to lead the door open for other opportunities such as, I think we talked about this during the Bearcats discussion, using some of that money towards fee waivers type things and other things like that. But for our policies, as far as this, it's 5,000
Okay.
currently, as it
And-
stands now.
And so when it comes to when there is additional verbiage requesting meeting space, that'll be dealt with under the strategic plan grant pot of money when they come back before us for their meetings?
Correct.
Okay.
So we're gonna go one by one and allocate? Is that what you guys are looking to do?
It's up to the board. If you want to.
Commissioner Clark, your thoughts?
Usually they all present and then we
But-
pull it together and.
Yeah, they're saying they already presented.
help our-
Funding, what we had, $5,000. So do we have representation from each organization in the House tonight?
Well, that's what I was asking for, but it was said that they've already did their presentation.
Yeah. Yeah, they did the presentation back in March.
Correct.
Usually we would do this in the June as part of the budget adoption, but that didn't happen this year, so that's why we're here tonight to do it. Groups that have asked, what's the decision? Have my organization been funded? And they said it hadn't been decided yet.
So if we're not sure about the ones, can we just fund the ones that we're sure of and table the other ones? Just asking the board.
Repeat that question?
I said, is it possible to fund the ones that we are sure of and table the other ones for another discussion?
And if we do that, will we be able to use the strategic plan grant money to be able to fund this? Or since this is just the nonprofit funding, we kind of have to do that now?
Well, this is part of the 25,000 that has been allocated this year.
Right.
And then as far as the policy is now, then we could only do 5,000 for these groups. If the policy is changed in the future, near future, or whenever, you may recall a couple months ago, we talked about, I think at the March meeting, you know, a lot of groups now don't necessarily need money. They want other avenues of support,
Right.
maybe money and,
Facility use.
right.
Right.
So that's kind of why that 25,000 was budgeted for this year. So that's open for discussion whenever.
Commissioner, do you want Director Long to step up and just speak to the strategy?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to recognize Director Long.
Yes, to further answer that question about the additional funding, the direction we were given the last time I presented about the Bearcats and the Aggies, there was some discussion about other opportunities, and we included in your budget, which you adopted, the additional $20,000 based on the feedback that we got from nonprofits that the $5,000 really wasn't hitting it. It wasn't really offering a lot of opportunities for them. And so this 20,000 was going to give us some opportunity to expand beyond what you were doing with just that 5,000. And so the direction that we were given and what we are working towards is coming back to you at your next work session to talk through what you're looking for out of that strategic plan. So it absolutely could be revisiting this, and I would imagine that these people that might not have gotten funded this time because of an incomplete application would have the opportunity to apply at that other funding source. If you want to do a different process, we're going to revisit that at your next work session. Does that help?
Yes, it helps for me. Thank you.
Okay.
So do we get a better understanding of the table? Do we get a better understanding? You guys agree with that?
Well, I suppose we could table it to, once we get some further clarification from the work session, or we could just go ahead and distribute money through the program as we have it designed right now.
That's what I was saying. If we wanted to go ahead and say, do the ones that we are comfortable with now, and then the other ones for further discussion.
I would think that we would wait to do all of this all together at the same time.
I have a suggestion, and that would be to allocate $4,500 worth of funds and set aside $500 in case Brown Bag Ministries wants to come back with a number. And we can decide if we're going to give them anything at that point or not, because that way we'd be able to at least allocate funding now.
I'm sorry, can you state that again?
Sure. We have $5,000 to allocate, and if we can either allocate it all tonight, which I would prefer to do the allocation since it's what's on, it's on the agenda, or we could allocate most of it and let the Brown Bag Ministries come back before us, because I'm sure that this is just a clerical error on their part. Or we can table it for the work session.
Any other?
These have all presented to us. So we could
Would you
go
please
ahead-
speak into the microphone? I cannot
Excuse
hear
me,
you.
it's over here too. These have all presented to us. So if we go ahead and allocate whatever we want to for these, Because these are the ones that have been here for years, so, some of them. So I don't see any reason why we can't go ahead and allocate to them.
All right, so we have five organizations that have come before us for funding. We have six that have asked potentially for funding, but the application was incomplete, and we can encourage Brown Bag Ministries to come back before us as part of the strategic plan grant when we work through that at the work session. Would that be amenable to the board? Because they haven't asked for a monetary amount, and so since there's not an expectation.
I don't think they asked for one when they did their presentation. They didn't ask for any money.
I don't think at the time for they knew kind of what that amount we were
Okay,
giving out.
so shall we just move forward allocating for the organizations that have filled out the application correctly and have asked for funds at this time?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
So with that, do we want to just go down the list? Starting with Preservation Zebulon, they requested $1,000.
So now you got to divvy up between basically 6.
I'm sorry, I
Motion.
can't hear you.
Do we need a motion for each one?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is there a motion to allow Zebulon Preservation the requested amount?
Preservation Zebulon, Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have no problem making a motion to award Preservation Zebulon $1,000, the $1,000 grant that they have requested.
That's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll vote. Commissioner Davis?
Favor.
Commissioner Clark?
Favor?
Commissioner Miles?
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter? Motion approved. And we said we were going to skip Brown Bag Ministry and come back with them for...
Yes, but can I make a request that we reach out to them to see if they are interested in coming back before us? Having worked with the organization in the past, I know that they do a lot of good work with our Boys and Girls Club and in neighborhoods throughout our community. Is everyone amenable to that on the board? Okay.
Do we need a motion for that? Okay. Next, Positive Attitude for Life. They have requested how much? Oh, I saw it.
$20,000.
20,000.
Hey, you're not going to get it if you don't ask. But also, you're not going to get what you asked for this time. I'm fine making the motion to award, I mean, that is a positive attitude for life, right?
Yeah.
That is embracing positive attitude. I'll make a motion to award Positive Attitude for Life $1,000 in grant money.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter.
In favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Clark.
Favor?
Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Motion passes. Next, East Wake Education Foundation.
1,000 as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to give 1,000 to East Wake Education Foundation.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
It will probably be coming back before us because they use facilities in the community center, I'm assuming? Is that correct?
That's through a grant.
That's a joint use program, so that is a
Okay.
partnership. It's not a funding or a rental.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, that's money they got from Wake County to do that, to expand their program. Any further discussion on East Wake? Roll vote. Commissioner Davis?
Favor.
Commissioner Clark?
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Motion passes. And
I'd like to make a,
go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we give James E. Shepherd the amount that they're asking for, which is $1,000 as well.
Did we skip the shrine?
They weren't asking for anything.
They're not
sir.
asking?
They're not asking for, they just want to support for social media and kind of getting their word out is what they're looking for.
We all comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Motion and a second for James E. Shepherd School Alumni Association. Discussion. Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Clark.
Favor?
Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Motion passes. All
How
right.
much
So
left we got left?
we want to set that addition, the other side till we decide.
We're missing one, the North Carolina Community Coalitions. What are they asking for?
Already.
100,000.
Go 1,000 as well, so we have, how much do we have left?
We have 1,000.
We have
so
1,000 left.
So what about when Brown Bag comes back to force, how are you gonna do that?
They'll come back before us, hopefully, as part of the strategic plan grant.
Okay.
And so we can have that discussion at our work session.
Okay. I make a motion that we allot the amount that's asked for by the North Carolina Community of Coalitions, a total of $1,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll vote. Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Motion passes. Thank you.
That's all?
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Next, football field use fees, recreation, Parks and Rec.
Mayor and members of the board, bringing back before you football field use fees. This one is a specific request to the Aggies. We discussed this at your last work session. We were given the directive from the board to return to the September regular meeting for you to consider the Aggies fee waiver. Just a reminder, your existing policy include the cost recovery policy and fee schedule. It's adopted with your budget. 501c3 school organizations are eligible for the resident rate less 50%. If they have a ticketed event, it's resident rate less 40%. The consideration that the board wanted to offer was complete fee waiver, so that's beyond what staff's able to do and requires board authorization. The Aggies have included a letter that was included in your packet for consideration of fee waiver. The resident rate and fees is $2,040. I will note the last time I shared with you a total, it was $1,890, and there were fees associated with the Vikings. It's essentially the same organization, and they have asked that we transfer those fees to the Aggie account so that they could be processed. And so the total owed by the Aggies is $2,040. But the nonprofit reduction that we are able to do per policy at 50% would be able to be processed because they have received their 501c3 status. So that would make the total owed to the town $1,020. The town expense has not changed to be able to facilitate this. Available to answer any questions and take direction.
I'd like to make a motion, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion that we waive the total cost of $1,020 per the policy for the Aggies' use of the field.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
And this will also go under the strategic plan grant umbrella that we're going to be discussing at our next work session.
If you would like it to, we can
Sure, that'd be great.
absolutely have that conversation.
Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter.
In favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Clark.
Favor.
Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next item. Interim Town Manager.
Who's doing the presentation? Would be Eric.
Mayor, members of the board, the interim town manager's contract expires tomorrow, and it's up to the board to decide whether to extend it or not.
Is there any discussion? Is there a motion?
I have discussion. I'm not comfortable extending the manager, the interim town manager's contract as set forth in the Third Amendment to the agreement for employment as interim town manager as stated.
Any further discussion?
So what are you seeking? What are you looking? Is there something you visualize?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Is there something, I'm asking Commissioner Baxter, is there something she's looking to do?
Right now, this extends through December 5th.
Okay.
That is more than a month-to-month extension. I don't feel comfortable with that.
So,
Commissioner Clark?
I think we ought to go at least through December the 5th with this contract because we're not making as much quick progress getting a town manager in place. I just think 90 days would be a good way. Just have the contract for 90 days.
if we don't do 90 days, can there be a discussion of these looking at doing a 30-day contract, a month-to-month contract, so we can continue to keep them on board as needed until, like you said, we make the move of hiring the next town manager?
But if you keep this contract, do you have to discuss every time you redo it?
It doesn't have to come before, it doesn't have to come before the board every time.
Just
We
want to
can
make
do that. with-
One at a time. Commissioner Davis?
No, it's my understanding that it does not have to come in, and our attorney can clarify that, but we do not have to present this before the board.
So it'll automatically redo every 30 days?
When we would just state
We
that
can
that's
do
what
that.
we would like.
I can do that.
What does that look like, Eric? Is that correct? We can do that, sir?
The Third Amendment does not have that in there now, but there's no problem with having a contract that extends from month to month for a maximum of 90 days. Is that what you're saying, Commissioner?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Think we can put that in there?
I don't know if we're going to get feedback.
Want to ensure that the town manager's good with that?
Could you speak into the, Commissioner Davis?
Stating to make sure that our interim town manager, Ty, would be okay with that.
That's fine.
Okay.
So we would need to amend that motion?
We haven't made a motion yet. We're just discussion part. So now we need a motion to approve it as amended? The contract is amended?
What would that sound like, Eric?
Yeah, I was going to say, what does it sound like?
How do we make a motion?
I think we would make a motion to accept the Third Amendment, subject to changes. That we would revise the period of the contract to be a 1-month extension with automatic extensions for 2 additional automatic extensions. Now, what I would recommend on this is that we don't just have it as a 1 month, that we actually identify the day after each regularly scheduled board meeting. So tomorrow's the 10th. I'm not certain when our October board meeting is, but I would recommend that first extension go through 1 day afterwards.
Okay.
The second extension, if it is extended, November, and then finally December. So use those specific dates as opposed to just 1 month or 30 days.
Yeah.
October 7th would be the next month.
Is the day after the next
Right.
board meeting.
October 8th would be the next one. And November would be
The 5th,
November 5th.
and December would be December 3rd.
Just do that.
Interim manager Jayoba mentioned that there's also the possibility that you would have a permanent town manager before that.
Correct.
And that's in there right now, that would be the earlier of the extended period or when you have a town manager in place.
Okay.
You think that's already in there? Okay.
Any further discussion? Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the contract as amended.
We have a motion.
Second?
Roll vote. Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Motion passes. Thank you. New business. Board appointees.
Thank you, Mayor and board members. We have two boards we're appointing for. Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, we have one vacancy, and this has two applicants. One is Quinton Taylor, who is currently serving on the Parks and Recreation Board and has applied for reappointment. And then we have Marvin Howell, who has applied for appointment.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Marvin Howell to the Recreation Board.
Did we want them to come up? We usually give them opportunity to
You want
speak.
present?
Yeah, if they're here. If the applicants are here and wish to speak, come to the podium.
While they're coming to speak, Mayor, what exactly is going to be the process that we're going to utilize to appoint? Are we doing it as last time, or are we kind of like trying to figure out how we do it and acknowledge it in the future, let the people know who's been selected?
So the process that we normally use is that you guys would make a motion and second and then a vote. We have used a written ballot when we have had an extensive list of applicants.
I think we come to a consensus that we listen tonight, we do it, and then we acknowledge, and we will have an email sent out to who's been selected. I think we discussed that. Is that correct, or was something we're looking for, a different process?
To send out an email, I'm sorry?
1 second.
But we need to vote on them.
Right, correct. You're going to send it to her now?
Yeah, you cannot. You can't.
I'm asking,
Commissioner Davis,
are
Mike.
you asking to vote for on a ballot?
I'm not sure exactly how you guys want to proceed with it. I mean, you're going to do, like, pretty much about to do the same thing we did last time, so it's up to you guys how you want to move forward.
If we do it like the last time, I would prefer to do the ballot, but I don't want it to be read in the order and the way it was.
It has to be read. It's required by law. You can't vote in secret.
I'm fine with just making a motion and moving forward.
Yeah, all votes have to be public.
For future reference, what statute is that? Lisa, if you could tell me, please.
I can look it up and send it to you. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing from that. Thank you.
If one of the applicants would like to speak, Mr. Taylor?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Quinton Crossan Taylor. I live at 401 Golden Plum here in Zebulon, Pierce's Landing. I am currently the sitting vice chair for Parks and Recreation. I've been a part of the group for the past 2 years, and I'm here to represent myself as an applicant to retain the seat that I'm currently sitting in. Is there any other information specifically that you are requesting of me tonight? I was not made aware of the nature of.
Any questions for Mr. Taylor?
Very much.
Thank you. Mr. Howell?
Good evening, Mayor, board members. I would like to tell a little bit about my work history. In 1985, I moved to Raleigh, began as working with Pullman Park. Then in 1987, I moved to Zebulon. During my 33 and a half years of working with Raleigh Parks and Recreation and Cultural Resources, I was the Historic Attractions Director. And I oversaw Pullman Amusements and also the John Chavis Memorial Carousel. Part of that was working on the restoration of those carousels. We dismantled the carousels, refurbished them, and put them back together during Pullman's extensive master plan and as well as the Chavis master plan part. When I started in 1985, I was the only full-time staff at Pullman and had about 17 part-time staff. Upon my retirement in 2018, I had increased full-time staff to 3 positions and had a part-time staff of 82 with that. When I moved to Zebulon in 1987, I also worked with Labello Florist Interiors and Antiques until another retirement in 2023 for 36 years. Throughout my career, I have volunteered with Special Olympics, North Carolina State Games. I was event manager for 10 years. I also worked with Hershey Track Program, and as well as many other special and cultural events through the Raleigh Parks and Recreation Department. I was also one of the founders of Pullman Park's Holiday Express, which was a very, very popular event, and it still continues today. While I'd like to serve as a board member, I would like to be part of the Zebulon's growth by supporting the town's vision and assisting the development of parks and cultural resources. I like seeing positive and exceptional experiences for its citizens and would like to be a part of it. I believe as a future board member in providing great customer service through positive interactions with the public. I also would like to have the opportunity to share my experiences and skills for the Zebulon's recreational community. Thank you for your consideration for the appointment to Parks Recreation Advisory Board.
Thank you. And before we vote, I would just like to show my appreciation for those that are interested in these appointments. And ever how the vote goes, that still doesn't mean you can't be a part of what decisions are made for the citizens in Zebulon. So thank you for your interest for volunteering in these positions, these open appointments. With that said, any further discussion? Is there a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mr. Taylor for reappointment to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
Keep going.
Is there a motion?
Shannon Baxter made a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
The discussion? Commissioner Baxter?
Favor.
Commissioner Miles?
Favor.
Commissioner Clark?
Oppose.
Commissioner Davis?
Favor.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Next item up is we have appointments for the Board of Adjustment. And we have one in-town vacancy, one ETJ vacancy, one alternate in-town vacancy, and one alternate ETJ vacancy. We have received 2 applications. Taylor Gray has applied for appointment as an in-town member, and Nicholas Walton has applied also for an in-town member, but this was his second choice. His main choice was the Planning Board.
either here that wishes to speak?
Hello, my name is Nicholas Walton. I live in 4014 Watsonia Drive. I used to live, I'm a 22-year-old Romanian American, and I used to live in Orlando, Florida for all my life until last year, which me and my family moved up here from Florida to North Carolina, and we moved here to Zebulon in October. I'm immensely interested in U.S. history and politics, and I've been civically engaged ever since December of last year. And I would like to increase my civil engagement by being appointed to the Board of Adjustments. And I think my knowledge of U.S. history, politics, and public policy would be a good use to this government if appointed. But if not, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Mr. Gray?
Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Taylor Gray. I live at 140 Sycamore Street. I've lived there for nearly 15 years with my wife and 3 daughters. I work as a commercial construction project manager, and I navigate the UDOs of several jurisdictions rather frequently. And I'm seeking appointment to the Board of Adjustment because I think it's a unique opportunity to contribute to this application of zoning statutes. And I would help ensure that property owner rights are respected, and my goal would be to make thoughtful decisions, listen to different perspectives, and promoting responsible growth. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your interest in Board of Adjustments appointment. Is there a motion?
I make a motion, we appoint Taylor Gray to the Board of Adjustments.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
May I ask a question first? Is this to a regular position or an alternate in-town position?
A regular in town.
So how many positions do we have? We have 2. We have 1 in town and 1 alternate, correct?
We have 1 in-town vacancy and we have 1 alternate in-town vacancy.
So we're doing the permanent first.
Both are applicants are in town. They live in town.
Oh, both are in town. We don't have an out.
No,
Okay.
we do not have an ETJ application.
So we have a motion. Was there a second? The in-town Board of Adjustment? No second. Motion fails.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to appoint Taylor Gray as the alternate in-town Board of Adjustment member.
There's a motion. Second. Any discussion?
This is for the alternate, is correct?
Alternate? Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter? Commissioner Miles?
Favor.
Commissioner Clark?
Why, an alternate, we have an alternate available?
Yes.
That's an in-town member, and that is, 1 ETJ, 1 in town. I mean, he lives in town. I don't understand why he can't fill the position. I know you've got an alternate, but why not fill the full-time one? But that's just my opinion.
Your vote is, you oppose?
My vote was
Oppose?
opposed to the alternate part,
Right.
yes. I just think he ought to be full-time to go there.
Commissioner Davis?
Favor.
Motion passes. Thank you.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Nicholas Walton as the in-town
Board of Adjustment member.
Second.
We have a motion
I'm
and
sorry, we've just appointed him as an alternate.
We appointed
As
Mr.
an
Taylor
interim.
Gray as the alternate, and
Taylor Gray. All right. I'm sorry, I had another name. I thank you for clarification.
Yep.
motion is,
So I move to appoint Nicholas Walton as the in-town Board of Adjustment member.
we have a motion. Is there a second?
You want to vote? What do we
I'm
do?
asking for a second for the motion for Nicholas Walton in-town Board of Adjustment.
Second.
We have a second.
We already had it, but we did read it again, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
I'm sorry, Mayor. I thought I already had. I apologize.
Any discussion? Roll vote. Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Clark.
Opposed?
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
In favor.
Motion passes. Thank you.
To encourage Mr. Howell to consider our future sustainability board, which I think would actually be a wonderful fit considering his work with preservation.
I like it.
So when that comes available, I would encourage you to apply.
You want a time frame on that?
We had some pooled items. I think the first one was the May 30th work session.
Okay.
What page you on?
It is page 4 of the May 30th work session.
I'm sorry, what? I can't hear you.
4 of the May 30th work session.
Okay.
So starting on page 12,
I know, they're like double numbered. I'm not quite sure
I think we're
why.
starting on page 12.
Got page 4, go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to get there. I chose the wrong binder for the amount of paperwork today. So just give me a moment.
I think on page 15. Commissioner? Page 15, is that what she's looking at?
Yeah, I think it's page 15.
15 and 4.
I just need on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraph down, the minutes reflect that I was agreeable to allocate the funds for office space, and it just needs to be changed to not agreeable.
All right, so you want it to say, it says Commissioner Baxter stated she did not want to put money into developing a large and expensive renovation project, but was agreeable to allocate $280,000 in funds to make office space in Town Hall and the Police Department usable.
Correct, I said not agreeable.
It's,
that.
you're not agreeable to that.
To that, correct.
Oh, okay. We can make that change.
Do we need a vote on that amendment?
You would need a vote to approve the minutes as amended,
Okay.
please.
So I would make a motion to approve those minutes as amended.
Do we need a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. Next pooled item was Public Works, Barrington, Resolution 2025-2.
Thank you, Chris. Chris, for that, if I could get a little bit of clarification on currently the miles that the town has acquired, as well as the process for acquiring the land when we go through the accepting process for each of these, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. Currently, we stand at, if you approve both these resolutions, we'll be at 40.79 miles of town-maintained roads. To talk about the construction, inspection, and acceptance process, it's a little technical, but I'll try to keep it simple tonight. And if there's anybody in the audience or here watching us live would like to learn more about it, they're more than welcome to come see me, and we'll sit down and talk about it. And we'll really get in the weeds. That's the type of stuff I love, so I don't mind spending a little time talking about this. The process starts with the approved plans coming from our TRC board. Our TRC board is our technical review committee. Basically, the TRC board meets and approves the plans and specifications and make sure it meets the town specifications from streets and sidewalks to the UDO, City of Raleigh, NCDOT. So it's a large group that meets, reviews plans, works with the developers, and ultimately comes to a concurrence on an agreement of plans. At that point, it's turned over to our Public Works Department and our construction inspection team, in which we go through a series of inspections and pieces. So we'll start at the subgrade, build a subgrade up, get density compaction on that. We'll do some additional geotechnical testing. Well, the drainage will be installed. Then City of Raleigh will come in a lot of times based on the depths of the sewer and water and do those installations. City of Raleigh is responsible for their own inspections, so we work hand in hand with those guys. Following that, the curb and gutters put in. Typically, ABC stone is in place after that, and then the first layer of asphalt. Typically, it's 2 inches or 3 inches, depending on if it's a local street or a residential collector. So basically, we go through a series of testing that third-party engineers do for us, third-party geotechnical teams do for us, plus our own in-house testing. So it could be from asphalt density for compaction or concrete testing for break strengths stuff. So fairly technical there, but a very detailed process to ensure that the infrastructure being accepted by the town of Zebulon will meet its useful life. After all those steps are complete, the developer will submit a series of about 15 documents that you see here attached, giving us warranties, guarantees, bonds for stuff that is not completed, as-built drawings, a litany of stuff, proof of payment of our inspection fees, proof of payment of planning fees, proof of payment of streetlight fees. So that process is complete. Once it is complete and we certify it, we then recommend to the planning department to certify and sign the plats. At our next available board meeting, we bring it to you to officially accept it through resolution, which you see here tonight. We also, through that process, starts the warranty period. All infrastructure accepted by the town has a 1-year warranty period. At the 11th month period, we will go through and do a detailed walkthrough and looking at the asphalt, concrete, and making any repairs that need to be made. Clearly, those are covered by the developer and the bond amount, for example, if the developer defaulted. So we get those repairs made. Typically, at a 1-year mark, you're about 80% rule of thumb that phase has been developed out. When I mean developed, that means the house is built, the sidewalks is put in. And so at that point, we give the authorization to put the final overlay in. Currently, we go through another round of asphalt testing to ensure quality, and then we accept another 1-year warranty for that completion. And so that leaves us basically back to tonight. Tonight we're coming for you to ask you to accept 2 phases of Barrington for roadway and storm drainage acceptance. And I'll be glad to answer any questions. I know that process is complex, and like I say, be glad to meet with anybody else that wants to learn a little more about it.
Commissioner Baxter.
I feel like I understand the process since we've been through this so many times. But just for clarification, so that folks who might be listening have an understanding, what you're saying is that you do a series of testing to make sure that the specifications for the roads, the curbs, the gutters meet our guidelines.
Yes,
and then There will usually be certain parts that are not yet built out, and that money is put into an account so that it can be built out at the completion of the project. And then after 11 months from this one-year warranty, you go back through and you check all of the different strata and substrata to make sure that everything that is holding up and performing as expected, because it's in about that period of time that we would expect to see if the wrong types of materials had been used, the degradation process would start, and then we would be looking for a fix to make sure that it's brought back up to our standards.
Yes, ma'am. At that point, yes, we make any repairs and then authorize the final overlay in which we get an additional warranty on. And that is correct, ma'am.
Okay, great, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Any further questions, comments for?
I definitely advise citizens to take Chris up on that opportunity to sit down and learn more. If there's any more questions that you have, I would definitely suggest that.
So we need a motion to.
We just need to do Barrington too, right?
We did both of them.
We already did.
Did you pull both of them?
Yes, I think Mr. Miles pulled both of them.
Okay.
Pull both, okay, go ahead.
I think we're good to go on both. You clarified everything we needed, so we should be good to go, Chris. Thank you.
Okay, so then, do you need a motion?
Yes, ma'am. We'd like
All
to
right,
have
cool.
a motion for 2025-02 Barrington 2H and I acceptance.
So I make a motion to accept the resolution 2025-02 Barrington Phase 2HI acceptance.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion. A roll vote, Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Clark.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor. And
Thank
then
you.
I'll make another motion to approve Resolution 2025-03, the Barrington Phase 3B.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll vote, Commissioner Baxter.
In favor.
Commissioner Miles.
I did have one point. Chris, this puts us to how many miles of road that we now have, sir?
40.79, sir.
40.79? All right, thank you, sir.
Vote. Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Davis. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We had another pool item. Which one was it?
It wasn't a pulled item, it was an added item.
Oh, an added item?
The May 6 minutes from 2024. There was a correction. These minutes were approved at the August meeting. I handed out the amendments to the board, and the motion that was in those minutes for Zebulon South was not written as it should have been. It also referenced the wrong ordinance, so we needed to correct the motion so that it stated what needed to be there. So I just need a motion to approve the May 6th minutes as amended, please.
Motion to approve the May 6 minutes as amended.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll vote, Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Clark.
Favor.
Commissioner Miles.
Favor.
Commissioner Baxter.
Favor.
Thank you. Managers report.
Unless you have any specific questions on the monthly financial report addendum, we'll have a budget director here, finance director, to address them. If you have any question on the addendum, that's the only item on the manager's report.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any questions on the financial report? Hearing none. Next item. More comments? Commissioner Baxter.
So September is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. In 2023, there were more than 50,000 American lives lost to suicide. And so I would like to encourage folks to increase their awareness, not only in what their own state of mental health is, but the state of mental health of their loved ones. Learn how to recognize signs of depression, and please know that there is a myriad of support both through the county, the state, and the federal government to assist anyone who is struggling. On the 11th at 5 p.m., I'm delighted to announce we are going to have our parade interest meeting. And so anyone that is looking to learn more, have ideas, share their thoughts, become involved, that parade meeting is at 5 p.m. On the 13th, we've got Rock the Block down on Horton Street, which is always a delight. And I believe it's the Main Street Band, if I'm remembering correctly, someone that we've had before and that we've always enjoyed. So make sure you check out West Horton Street on Friday.
Main event.
Main event, sorry, what did I say?
Main Street.
The Main Street program, the main event band, yes. Pardon me, yes, main event. I am a member of the Central Pines Regional Council of Government, and our last meeting, we had well, we always have interesting discussions, but this one is kind of exciting that I'd like to share it with all of you, because what we are discussing and probably going to move forward with in the not too distant future is a regional study to create a regional plan. And why that is so important for the town of Zebulon is because a lot of the studies that I've done either through Campo or through other aspects of the Central Pines Regional Council of Government have focused in areas like Cary, Garner, every other place but Eastern North Carolina. And so being able to not only include Zebulon, Wendell, Rollsville, Knightdale in that regional study, but also include Durham and other parts of the RTP. It's going to help us identify ways that we can work towards environmental stewardship, sustainability, how we can create transportation plans that make more sense for our entire region as opposed to just specific municipalities. And so it's going to be something that will benefit us because we have never had that level of study done in our area before. And it's going to encompass a large area, but our area is going to get studied too. And I think that's going to be extremely beneficial, and I'm super excited that we're going to be going down that road. We are currently collecting coats for our coat drive. There are boxes in the police department. I've just dropped off a whole bunch of new coats and some pants and some other items. When we have our Gill Street Park kind of picnic later, we're going to be passing out coats. So at the police station and at the community center, if you have coats or clothing items that you would like to donate, it is always a very, very successful event and extremely appreciated by community members. So please be sure to take advantage of that. To speak a little bit towards something that has been in the news recently, and that is some issues that folks are having with their homes in the Sydney Creek subdivision. I'm just going to make the statement that this board right now is working very, very hard to make sure that the type of building and development that comes into our community is going to stand the test of time. And so we spend a lot of time talking to developers so that we can ensure that some of the degradation that's currently happening and that we've been hearing about in the news isn't carried forward into the future of for our residents. And finally, if I have made a mistake, I am going to admit it. And I'm not sure it was a mistake, but more just not being clear. And so I would like to take a moment to apologize to the Wiggins and to Angel Prince Corporation when I was speaking about their organization at the work session. They themselves did not have their 501c3, but they were operating under the umbrella of another 501c3. And so I'm going to take that on as a clarification and an apology if I have caused them any duress. That was absolutely not my intention. They do wonderful work in this community. So have a safe September, everyone.
Commissioner Miles?
No comments.
Commissioner Clark?
Just great to see so many people here supporting us tonight, and I thought our board meeting went real well.
Commissioner Davis?
I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you. As we are all aware, we are back in school. Kids are back effective August 27th, and we had the opportunity to have a back-to-school parade for both of our elementary schools at Zebulon Elementary and Wakelon Elementary, and I'm so excited to say it was success beyond measure. So thank you to Gary Haley, who is the social work for Zebulon Elementary, who was a head honcho of this. This is our third parade, I think second year in a row, and all of the town was a part of it. I believe we had our Zebulon Police Department, the Fire Department, Public Works, Parks and Rec, town staff, Board of Commissioners, principals, teachers, staff, community at large, welcoming our kids back, and it was so exciting just to see the cheers and the community come together. So I just want to thank you, and thank you for the town, because we know we are growing, a population of nearly 12,000, and traffic was chaos. But we survived. I was in the midst of it, trying to get from one school to the next, but we did it. So these are part of the growing pains, but I just thank you. Thank you to all our teachers out there for another successful year.
Thank you. I'd just like to comment on, I appreciate Commissioner Miles and the Zebulon Police Department attending the 100-year birthday celebration for Mr. Bullock, Lyles Bullock. He received a flag from Representative Ross, a flag that flew over the Capitol, and a resolution from her office. And I also did a proclamation from the town for his 100th birthday. And he's in good shape for 100 years old. But thank you, Police Department, for coming out. His family really enjoyed the presents. Thank you. Anything else to bring our attention? Is there a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Meeting adjourned.